Pokemon Sword and Shield alt arts across the board have been dropping in price. Of course, there are some which are going up, mainly from Evolving Skies. But of course, what is happening in the market over here in the UK? I talk about the US quite a bit, of course. But what is going on over here? Now, when I look at TCG Player and places like that, it doesn't tell me what's going on over here where I am in the UK. I know, it's terrible, right? So I'm going to have to look at eBay today at what has been going on with the big money cards from the Sword and Shield era over here, because the prices are quite interesting. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so today we'll take a look at eBay at the UK prices of these Sword and Shield alt arts. Now I took a look at the booster boxes from the Sword and Shield. Very, very different over here compared to the US. You know, Fusion Strike and Chill and Rain are quite easy to get hold of from the Pokemon Center at the moment, of course, with the big boom happening to those sets along with Lost Origin. But yeah, no, Evolving Skies, yeah, it's pretty expensive. So let's see how the single cards match up with these big money booster boxes. Right, first off, we're looking at the alt art Charizards from Brilliant Stars, of course. Big money cards coming in. Let's take a look. So we have PSA 10 version here for £190. That's actually pretty cheap, actually. Pretty good. 175, that's Ace Grading, of course. Ace Grading, another grading company. A little bit less value than PSA, but their slabs, in my opinion, look way better. So we got, you know, one here for 97. Don't forget, with a lot of these cards, all depends on condition, of course. You have another Ace 10, best offer accepted. More Ace 10 graded. £90 there for the Charizard. Don't forget, Charizard dropped quite a bit in value, to be fair, with a lot of the restocks of Brilliant Stars. Even though Brilliant Stars booster boxes are like 140, 145. Of course, the Charizard is dropping. So you're looking really around about £90 to £100 for this card raw. And then the graded all depends if it's in a PSA 10 or an Ace 10. Ace 10s are less. I mean, wow, this Charizard's 73. Probably the conditions are not great on that one. But yeah, really interesting to see how well this Charizard does. But like PSA 10, you're looking around about 200. Ace 10, you're looking probably about 150 to 160. A little bit less. But then raw, like I say, anywhere between £90 to £100 for the Charizard. On to the Gengar. Gengar's been holding very, very good value. Let's take a look. So PSA 10, right, let's take a look. So PSA 9, best offer accepted at 205. PSA 10 coming in. This one's from Australia. So, you know, paying extra money. Oh no. So this one here is the Japanese. All right, let's take a look at the alt art Gengar. So we have here £160. So Gengar does hold pretty good value in Fusion Strike. Raw, tough card pull. We've never pulled this card before on stream. Hopefully one day we will. We've got a ton of Fusion Strike, trying to keep that in stock because it does go pretty quickly because everyone's trying to pull it. You know, this and the Espeon. 160 there, 200. So big price differences. All depends on obviously the you know, the center and the condition of the card. 175, 170 best offer accepted. We've got the tag team one coming in there. Then we have 170 there. So I would say anywhere between 160 to 170. I mean, this one was a little bit cheaper there. But yeah, so you're looking around 160, 170 raw, which is actually pretty decent. Right, then we have the Blaziken. Again, we still never pulled this card. Blaziken, PSA 10, £300. That fetches a pretty hefty price tag. This is the Ace 10. Ace 10, 240. Big price difference. £60 price difference. 20% less. That's actually a big difference. So yeah, one here raw sold around 150. 130 raw. So actually it fetches a really good price in a PSA 10 if you do get one, of course, and it does get PSA 10. But it is holding pretty good value. I mean, anywhere between 115 to 130 seems to be where it's situating right now. If we can find any more raw, 115. But yeah, I think you could probably pick one up and try and go for anywhere around that 110 to 130 would probably be where this card is sitting. I mean, this one here was 93. Again, condition plays a massive part in a lot of these cards. But yeah, I think this card can big price swings, but it all depends. Chill and Rain was quite harsh with the centering, especially on the first few prim runs. It did get better as more and more got reprinted. But overall, Blaziken holding pretty well. 300 in a PSA 10 is quite nice. Okay, let's take a look at the Lugia from Silver Tempest. So Lugia in a PSA 10, we're looking at £190, so a lot less than the Blaziken. I mean, you know, not much more expensive than a raw Gengar, to be fair. Let's see if we can find any others. We've got some Beckett ones here. Beckett 9, 150. We have, this is the Japanese version at 350. We have the Silver Tempest one. Here we go here, 200. Let's see, we got one raw. So raw we got here, £96. Under £100. That's actually not too bad. We have an Ace 10 Ace label for 190. That's actually worth quite a bit. That's pretty much the PSA 10 level, which is actually pretty impressive. Yeah, there you go, PSA 10 there. So, you know, pretty much similar compared to the others. Ace 10 Ace label, holding pretty well across the board. 120 raw there. We're looking around 110. So yeah, you're probably looking anywhere around 100 to 120 pounds raw for the Lugia, but then fetching probably around about 190 for a PSA 10. So you won't really get a huge amount in return if you do get this graded in the 10s. Not even, yeah, actually, to be fair, it's pretty much double the value, which actually isn't too bad. But the Ace 10 is actually holding pretty well. All right, on to the Giratina. This is the one that everybody wants to see. Well, this and the Moonbreon, of course. So Giratina PSA 10, 450. That's a lot of change. £230 raw there, £200 raw there. So we're looking at more expensive than the Gengar. Probably the most expensive one we've seen so far is this Giratina. We've never pulled it either. Out of how many packs of Lost Origin, but again, hopefully we will. Hopefully we will this year. £200 raw there. This is the one from Crown Zenith. We're not really interested in that one, but quite interesting though. That's a Japanese one. So we've got 280 Lost Origin in PSA 9. 280 in PSA 9. Wow, very impressive. They have another one here, PSA 9 to 20. We've got one here. This one's the Japanese one, which is going for 566. Holy smokes. PSA 10 Lost Origin Giratina 450, raw 150. Well, that's not a bad price, depending on the quality of that one. But yeah, I think it's pretty much a, you know, an expensive card. We know it's expensive, anywhere between 200, 230 raw, and then the graded price being just insane. If you get in a PSA 10, of course, PSA 9 is like 280, which is actually pretty good. Ace 10 is a little bit less, of course, as to be expected with a lot of these. But overall, this is still a beautiful card. And yeah, if you get a grade into 10, it's worth a pretty penny. All right, let's look at the Machamp now. Astral Radiance. Again, another big old art, which we've never pulled. This one's a lot cheaper, as you can see here. PSA 9, £90, which is a lot cheaper than all the others. Then Raw, we're looking at 62, 75, so it is a bit cheaper. Ace 10, 100. That's actually pretty decent. And then, yeah, you look at 65, 90 Raw. So in a PSA 10, it's not really a huge amount difference to a Raw price, which is actually quite rough. We've never pulled it from Astral Radiance, but it is the biggest card, the most valuable card by a fair margin, to be fair, of Astral Radiance. But the Machamp, look, Ace 10 seems to be doing pretty well. PSA 10, compared to the raw prices, is not much different, which is actually quite surprising. Okay, let's take a look at the Rayquaza. We can hopefully see the Rayquaza and maybe the Rayquaza VMAX as well. So the normal Rayquaza, you look at £60, raw price. Let's see if we can find... Okay, the Rayquaza Art VMAX, another big money card. Here we go. So we've got Ace 10, £270 here. We've got the normal Rayquaza one there at 67. We have a graded one. Don't really know that graded company, but that's 200 there. Raw 155. That's cheaper than I thought. That's even cheaper. 102. Wow, super cheap there. That 102. Is a 225. Which one's this one? PSA 9. So PSA 9 is 225. Look at this. Like 225 for a PSA 9. Imagine buying it for £102. Obviously, we don't really know the quality, but still quite cheap. 215 in a PSA 9. See, look, this one's mint. Apparently mint condition. 180. So kind of weird price differences there. 200 in a PSA 9. We got any in a 10. We got PSA 9 there. We got an Ace 10 at 340 and an Ace label, which is actually pretty pricey. PSA 9. This is like really difficult to grade. You'll get a PSA 10. It looks like it. This one here, PSA 10, 330. There we go. So £330 for a PSA 10. How much was that Ace 10? So that was 330. How much was the Ace 10? Where is it? 340. Interesting. So not much difference there. A little bit more for the Ace 10. You know, so you got to look out for it. But yeah, overall, I do think the Rayquaza is a great one to pick up. Prices really do vary on this one. Swinging all over the place, which is actually quite interesting. But even though Evolving Skies is getting super duper expensive, Rayquaza though, you know, half the price of a box, less than half the price of the box. I mean, to be fair, we're getting to the point now where even the PSA 10 is getting to nearly a price of half the box, which is crazy. So, yeah, really interesting. And then finally, we're taking a look at the Moonbreon, of course. We go. So £500 raw for this one. Pricey card. 485, 500, 600. This price does vary. 383. Wow, I didn't expect this card to be literally all over the show. It goes to show based on condition and things like that, what people are hoping to try and get it to be in a 10. 500, 415, 400. Guys, I mean, this is just crazy. 416. I don't know what the hell's going on with that one. Might be a fake. Who knows? £90. Kind of a bit sus. Then we got ones coming from Australia there. We've got any graded ones. That'd be quite interesting. But yeah, so far this card is worth a pretty penny. So graded. So we have a BGS 10, £1,200 that sold for. That's impressive. PSA 10, 850, best offer accepted. PSA 10, 690, best offer accepted. So wherever that got accepted for. Ace 10 for 650. So yeah, not really worth a huge amount there. We got another BGS 10 coming in. PSA 10, 700. So this card has dropped quite a bit in a PSA 10. I've got on a PSA 10 when it got graded like over a year ago. This was like close to 1,000. It was like £900, something like that. So it has dropped a fair amount since. So, you know, to be expected, the more and more of this card's getting pulled, the more and more this card gets graded, the more PSA 10s to get out there. I do expect this to drop. However, I do expect this to bounce back over time, of course. This one here, PSA 10, I don't know why this one was 700, but the other one was like 1,200. It's kind of weird. 750 in a PSA 10. Look, you know, prices really do vary on this Moonbreon. There you have it, guys. Those are some of the biggest cards, biggest alt arts, of course, from the Sword and Shield era. Look, the prices are all over the show, to be honest. You can pick up some pretty decent prices, pretty good deals on eBay for a lot of these alt arts still, especially when it comes to Evolving Skies. I mean, that Moonbreon, prices raw are swinging like £100 price range. They're swinging raw. It's all over the show. I mean, even the Rayquaza, it's really, really interesting. All does go down to the condition of the card, whether or not it's in good condition, whether or not it's, whether or not the centering and stuff of the card is very good. So yeah, it really does depend, of course. But then the Lugias and the Charizards are like under, £90 to £100. That's incredible. That's a really good price. Gengar's holding strong. Giratina's holding strong. Very, very pricey in a PSA 10. Blaziken's not doing too bad either. So yeah, there's some big cards, big money. I don't think they're that pricey, to be fair, compared to booster boxes. In my opinion, just buy the card. It's just better that way. If you made this far into the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments about these prices. Have you picked up any of these cards? Are you looking to sell any of these cards? That's what I want to know. Look, me, I'm still after Giratina. I'm still after, the Blazikins and all that sort of stuff. I want to eventually have all the alt arts in the Sword and Shield era. That'd be super cool. But they're just so pricey and ridiculously tough to pull, especially some of the top end ones. But I do have the Moonbreon. I guess that kind of helps. That is what's going on in the single card market over here in the UK for the biggest cards. If you want to know what's going on with the sealed booster boxes, then make sure to click the video in the screen right now. And if you watch more Pokemon content, guys, you know what to do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. But that is it from me, guys, in today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, you guys are legends. I'll see you in the next one.